107.1 WJBB, Bleeding Ear for a lovely Wednesday special occasion today, too. The date, October 9th, 2019. The very first band to appear on the Bleeding Ear. Back. Now I can't hear Blake. Hang on a second. There you are.
It's our Bleeding Eariversary.
Is that what that is?
For them, anyway.
Heart of Pine is the band. Back then, they had a new album called Highly Flammable. And here we are, 4 years later, and you got a brand new record coming out. But not till July.
Yep.
But we've got a sneak peek of the new album, which is coming out. Good to have in the studio this morning Stephen Bagwell and Travis Richardson. Travis, you were not here the first time.
I was not.
But you guys are kind of the Lennon-McCartney of Heart of Pine. Is that fair?
I wouldn't go that far with it, but yes, we are the founding original members of it. Stephen and I started writing music together in probably 2015. We're from originally the same hometown, but we didn't necessarily know each other. We were a couple grades between us, and moved to Athens, and we ran up together and sat down and started writing, and 8, 9, 10 years later, here we are.
Here we are.
Our third album getting ready to come out, our second full-length album, and an EP already out.
When it comes to the writing process, is one of you better at music, the other better at lyrics, or are you pretty much?
It's kind of an equal mix, I would say.
Yeah.
Either he'll have some music, or I'll have some music, and then I'll have an opening line, he'll have an opening line. We'll just kind of run with it and see where things go.
What comes first, music or lyrics?
Music, usually.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess it could.
Do you start kind of playing the music and then you start trying to sing over it and find the melody, and how does that process work?
Exactly. That's usually the process, unless like some kind of great line just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I've got tons of little snippets on my phone that I've just thought.
You ever grab those in the car? You're sitting in traffic, next thing you know.
Yeah, if you don't, they disappear.
Yeah. Did you get any road rage inspiration on your way in today?
No, I didn't take anything down this morning.
Okay, just checking. Did you run into any road rage on the way in? Of course you did.
Some angry soccer moms.
See, they're pretty calm in Athens, right? You guys came from Athens.
Yep.
How close before you started seeing the road rage? Right as you hit the Broward County line?
Right around the block.
Oh.
All the way here.
Yeah, the people that listen to our
The
station
Bethlehemites.
out there raging, as a matter of fact. You think of Bethlehem.
Several honked horns.
Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of a quiet town.
Well, we live so close to 316.
Is that what it is?
But you know what? In Jesus' town, people should be nicer.
You're exactly
I don't get
right. In the little town of Bethlehem,
I don't get it.
road rage should not be allowed. Tell me about the new album.
So the new album's got 9 songs on it. It'll come out July. Haven't really set the date yet. It's not finite. But the new single came out last Friday, which I think we're going to listen to this morning. The song's called Moving On. We've been writing this album since 2020. So we put a lot of thought and effort into really tightening things up. We got some new members. We've changed a few folks. It's been a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun.
And you got a lot of gigs coming up, too.
Yeah,
I've noticed you've been very active on social media, which is great. I guess you got to do that these days. You got to be a big self-promoter.
Unfortunately, you do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Trust me, I do a lot of social media stuff for the radio station, for the morning show, and it takes time and effort. There's no doubt about that.
Definitely does.
Almost like you need the little extra cheddar there to pay for that.
Yep, that's exactly what it takes.
So when you guys do the gigs, then do you take more of the brunt of the money and you pay the other guys less because you're doing all the social media stuff? That's what I would do.
No, not necessarily. Actually, the money's a whole different thing, but that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sink so much of what we do back into it because it costs so much. The travel and the do and record and artwork and posters and food and hotels.
Yeah.
It's basically sinking a lot of it right back.
Either one of you married?
Yep, I am married with 2 senior dogs at the house.
Okay.
And
talk to me about juggling the band and marriage, and because I was in a band once, and it's difficult to have some kind of a family life.
Yeah.
Get together and rehearse and just do all the things that are involved with keeping a band up and running.
Luckily, I married a psychologist, and she is one of the most understanding women in the world.
Wait a minute. Wasn't that on your list of
That
jobs
is.
to have in
Those are
2024?
the hot jobs for 2024.
Yeah, no, she's great. She doesn't give us any flack about it, really.
Wow.
She goes to a lot of our shows. She's actually been one of our biggest supporters for the
Oh,
past
that's great.
7 or 8 years. So, yeah, she's been great with everything. It's long as we don't spend too many weekends away from home. We're
fair enough.
We're on smooth seas after that.
The band is called Heart of Pine. They were the very first guest on the Bleeding Ear. Bleeding Ear brought to you, by the way, by Night Sky Coffee Roasters, now open in beautiful downtown Winder. You describe your sound, I love the genre, Southadelic.
Yep.
That's catchy. I like that.
Thanks.
How'd you come up with that?
Actually,
That was Mr. Burton Hood.
yep. You met Burton here the last time.
Yeah.
But
Now, is Burton still part of the mix? Is he still in the band?
He is and he isn't. He's at every show we do. He will fill in for us if we need a fill in. Ever since he moved to Atlanta, he kind of stepped back and let his son Boone kind of come up and take over.
So his
the
son
reins.
is in the band.
Yep.
Oh, that's very
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
Family affair.
How old is the son?
21, 22.
Yeah.
no, Ben's 24, I think.
Got yourself a young whippersnapper in there.
Yeah.
You gotta like
Well,
that.
so we have a younger fella too. The keys player is 21. He's been playing with us since he was on that first album.
Yeah.
We actually met him when he was
14.
14 down in Tybee Island. He's been
How
playing
about
with us
that?
ever since.
Stephen Bagwell, Travis Richardson joining us this morning from Heart of Pine. You got some gigs coming up that you want to mention?
Yeah, I do. So we've got a bunch of stuff coming up. We're playing March 22nd in Sandersville on the Square. It's a free show. Food trucks and open containers. Kind of surprising. 323 Moon Shadow Tavern in Tucker. 329 we're playing Southbound Smokehouse North Augusta. On 420 we're doing Waterfest in Gainesville, which was just announced. Chattahoochee River Keepers putting that on. Scott Lowe and Jesse Williams will also be there. That's also a free event. May 18th we're playing River Lily Fest in Thomaston, Georgia. May 24th, Grant's Lounge in Macon, which is hasn't been announced yet, but will be really soon. And then, well, I guess it just was. And then May 25th, Hendershots in Athens.
Wow, you guys are busy.
Oh yeah,
Good to see. It's always makes my heart feel good when musicians, bands are getting work.
yep.
And people are coming to see the shows. That's awesome. Tell me about the song we're going to play.
Moving on is a story. Well, I guess it's not really a story, but it's about just moving on from relationships that aren't really doing you any good.
Are these toxic relationships or just
Romantic relationships or any relationship?
All types.
all
Okay,
types of
okay.
relationships? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, the opening verse is an actual true story. My high school girlfriend's father, we came home late, and he did the old country saying where he took a shotgun shell and he threw it to me. He says,
Oh.
the next one travels faster. She's not home earlier next time.
Ooh, I like that.
And so, yeah, that's where the whole first verse came from. And then, yeah, I think the second verse is just really more about not really wanting to settle down. You're supposed to have the wife and the kids and the white picket fence, and I think it's kind of about not being ready for that and moving on from there. So, yeah, just moving on.
I got one. The next one for you can be called Moving On Up. The Chronicles of a Single Lady in Her 50s Finally Getting Married.
There you go.
I got lots of stories.
And we'll bring the Jeffersons in to do the chorus. All right. Heart of Pine is the name of the band. Moving On is the single that we're going to play. They got another single coming out, and then the record's going to be out in July, and hopefully you'll come back in before
Yeah,
that
yeah.
so we
Sure,
can talk about that.
We'd love to.
The very first band that we ever had on the Bleeding Ear. Back, the date was October 9th, 2019. Heart of Pine. Good to have you guys back on the show again.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
man.
much.
Thanks
All right,
for
this
having
one's
us.
called Moving On, brought to you by Night Sky Coffee Roasters.
Well, I grew up tall and I grew up mean. I didn't mean no harm. I just wanted to be the man that you wanted in your arms. I'm thinking back on yesterday when your daddy shot the gun. He threw me a shell and said, well, the next one's for his son. I'm still going strong, just like a rolling stone. Well, it just might be that you make me do it, so I'll be moving on. Yeah, baby, I'll be moving on. Well, it ain't
107.1 WJBB, that's Heart of Pine. It's called Moving On.